There is a brutal truth about human nature that most people refuse to accept because it contradicts everything they have been told about love, loyalty, and hard work. The truth is this: the more you are seen, the less you are admired. The more you are heard, the less people listen to you. The more you are available, the less you are wanted. You have likely felt this in your own life. You work harder than anyone else. You answer every text immediately. You show up early. You stay late. You give everything you have to a relationship or a job, and yet you are treated with indifference. You are overlooked for the promotion. Your partner seems bored. Your friends take you for granted. You assume the solution is to give more. You think, if I just try harder, if I am just more present, they will finally see my value. This is a fatal calculation. By increasing your presence, you are actually decreasing your value. You are flooding the market with your own supply, and by the basic laws of economics, when supply goes up, price goes down. You have violated the 16th law of power. Use absence to increase respect. Value is not determined by quality, it is determined by scarcity. Why is gold expensive? Not because it is useful. You cannot eat it. You cannot build a house with it. It is expensive because it is rare. Why is air free? It is the most necessary thing for survival, yet you pay nothing for it. Why? Because it is everywhere. You only value air when you are drowning. You only panic for air when it is taken away. Right now, in the eyes of the people around you, you are air. You are necessary, perhaps, but you are free. You are abundant. You are always there. Therefore, you have no value. They do not respect you because they do not fear losing you. Familiarity is the assassin of respect. When people see you every day, when they know exactly what you will say, when they know you will always pick up the phone, the mystery evaporates. They stop seeing you as a powerful, autonomous individual. They start seeing you as a fixture. You become furniture. You become background noise. And you cannot admire furniture. You sit on it. Robert Greene writes, "The more you are seen and heard, the more common you appear. To be common is to be cheap." Think of the sun. When the sun shines relentlessly, day after day in a desert, people curse it. They hide from it. It becomes a tyrant. But when the clouds cover the sun for weeks, people pray for it. They look up at the sky and beg for its return. When it finally breaks through the clouds, they rejoice. The sun has not changed. Its heat is the same. Its light is the same. The only thing that changed was its availability. By withdrawing, it became a god again. You must learn to be the sun that sets. You must learn that your absence is a weapon. It is the only tool that can reset the power dynamic in a relationship that has become stagnant. When you withdraw, you create a vacuum. Humans are terrified of vacuums. When you suddenly stop responding, when you are not at the usual meeting, when you are not in your usual spot, people's imaginations kick in. They start to wonder, where is he? What is he doing? Why isn't he here? For the first time in years, they are thinking about you. Not because you are shouting for attention, but because you are silent. By removing yourself, you force them to confront the reality of life without you. You force them to recognize the space you used to fill. And in that space, respect begins to grow. Respect is not given to the servant who is always waiting at the door. Respect is given to the guest who might leave at any moment. If you want to be valued, you must be willing to walk away from the table. You must be willing to let the phone ring. You must be willing to let the silence stretch. You must understand that no is more powerful than yes, and goodbye is more powerful than I'm here. The moment you accept that your presence is a commodity, you can begin to manipulate its price. But to do this, you must conquer your own fear of abandonment. You must be willing to step into the dark. Understanding the law of scarcity is simple. Executing it requires the precision of a surgeon. You cannot simply vanish at random. If you disappear before you have established your worth, you will not be missed. You will be forgotten. This is the mistake of the amateur. He tries to play hard to get before anyone actually wants him. To use absence effectively, you must understand the cycle of value. First, you must be present. You must be aggressive. You must force your image into their minds. In the beginning of a negotiation, a courtship, or a job, you must be the brightest object in the room. You must demonstrate your competence, your charisma, and your utility. You must get them addicted to your energy. You must create a habit. You want them to get used to your face, your voice, and your solutions. But then, you must watch for the tipping point. This is the moment when they stop being impressed by you and start taking you for granted. It is the moment the new car smell fades. It is subtle. Maybe they check their phone while you are talking. Maybe they delay a meeting. Maybe the compliments stop coming. This is the danger zone. Most people react to this by trying harder. They panic. They think, they are losing interest. I must do more. This is a death spiral. If you push when they are pulling away, you look desperate. You look low status. The master recognizes this tipping point and does the opposite. He retreats. He does not retreat with anger. He does not make a scene. He does not complain, "You don't appreciate me." Complaining implies dependence. It implies that you need their validation. Instead, the master simply fades. He becomes busy. He becomes unreachable. The texts get shorter. The availability window closes. This is the strategic retreat. By withdrawing at the peak of your value, freeze your image in their mind at its absolute best. When you are with someone, they see your reality. Reality is messy. Reality has flaws. You have bad days. You have annoying habits. You are human. But when you are absent, you become a fantasy. The human mind is a romantic machine. When you are gone, their memory begins to edit the tape. They forget your annoying habits. They forget your bad days. They only remember the feeling you gave them. You are replaced by an idealized version of yourself. You become a concept, and a concept is always more powerful than a man. Absence extinguishes small passions and increases great ones, as the wind extinguishes the candle but fans the fire. If their interest in you is a candle, weak and flickering, your absence will kill it. Good. Let it die. It was a waste of your time anyway. But if there is a fire, your absence will turn it into an inferno. You must learn to starve the fire to make it burn hotter. Think of a negotiation. You put your offer on the table. The other side hesitates. They want to haggle. They want to nitpick. If you stay at the table and argue, you lower your price. But if you pack up your bag, stand up and say, "Think about it," and then walk out the door, the dynamic shifts instantly. Suddenly, they are not thinking about the price. They are thinking about losing the deal entirely. Fear enters the room, and fear is the mother of respect. This requires you to control your own anxiety. When you step back, your brain will scream at you. It will say, "What if they replace me? What if they forget me?" You must strangle that voice. You must have the arrogance to believe that you are irreplaceable. If you are truly valuable, they will not replace you. They will realize how dull life is without you. They will realize that the other options are cheap copies. And when you finally return, you will not return as a beggar. You will return as a prize. The strategic retreat is not about leaving forever. It is about resetting the terms of the engagement. It is about reminding them that your presence is a privilege, not a right. You withdraw so that you can return on higher ground. When you execute the strategic retreat, you trigger a deep psychological mechanism in your target. It is the terror of the void. Human beings are biologically wired for connection. We are social animals. In our primal past, being isolated from the tribe meant death. Therefore, when a connection is severed or threatened, the brain triggers a panic response. It releases cortisol. It creates a feeling of intense anxiety. The transparent man tries to soothe this anxiety in others. He is a people pleaser. If he senses someone is uncomfortable, he rushes to fix it. He apologizes. He over-communicates. He fills the silence. The master uses this anxiety. He understands that this specific type of pain, the pain of missing someone, is the most potent aphrodisiac in the world. You must become comfortable with being the cause of anxiety. This sounds cruel, but it is necessary. If you are always safe, always predictable, and always soothing, you become boring. There is no tension, and without tension, there is no attraction. A relationship without anxiety is like a story without a conflict. It goes nowhere. By withdrawing, you introduce a plot twist. You introduce the question, does he still want me? This question forces the other person to chase you. It flips the polarity. Instead of you chasing their validation, they are now chasing yours. Consider the ghosting phenomenon. Why does it hurt so much? Not because you lost the person. Often, you barely knew them. It hurts because of the uncertainty. The brain cannot close the loop. It keeps spinning, trying to figure out what happened. Did I say something wrong? Is there someone else? You occupy their mental real estate rent-free. While you are out living your life, focusing on your mission, they are obsessing over your silence. You have become the protagonist of their internal movie. But you must be careful not to trigger resentment. There is a fine line between mysterious and asshole. If you just ignore people rudely, they will eventually hate you. The goal is not to be rude. The goal is to be elusive. You don't ignore the text forever. You just delay the response. You don't skip the meeting without notice. You send a polite decline stating you have pressing matters. The excuse must always be vague. I'm busy is better than I'm washing my car. I have an urgent situation is better than I have a dentist appointment. Vagueness creates size. Specificity shrinks you. When you say, I'm busy, they imagine you doing something important, something high status. They fill in the blanks with their own projections of your success. This strategy works perfectly in the workplace. The employee who is always at his desk, head down, eating lunch alone, is viewed as a workhorse. He is reliable, but he is not respected. He is part of the machinery. The executive who is often traveling, who is in meetings, who is hard to pin down, he is viewed as important. His time is guarded. his calendar is a fortress. Even if he is doing less actual work than the workhorse, he is perceived as having higher value because his presence is rationed. He creates a microeconomy of his own attention. To get a meeting with him is a victory. To get 5 minutes of his time is a win. He has gamified his own existence. By creating this void, you also protect yourself from overexposure. Napoleon said, "If I am seen at the theater too often, people will cease to notice me." Even an emperor can become boring if he is seen eating soup every day. You must hide your humanity. You must hide the mundane details of your life. Don't post your breakfast. Don't post your complaints about traffic. Don't post your boredom. Every time you share a mundane detail, you strip away a layer of your aura. You bring yourself down to earth. Stay in the clouds. Let them wonder what you eat. Let them wonder what you think. The void is your shield. As long as they don't know everything about you, they cannot control you. The moment they figure you out completely, the game is over. You have been consumed. Keep a part of yourself hidden in the dark, forever. There is a fatal misunderstanding that destroys those who attempt this law without wisdom. They think that if absence is good, then permanent absence is better. They leave and they never come back. That is not strategy. That is abandonment. That is suicide. To effectively use the law of absence, you must master the second half of the equation, the return. You are not disappearing to die. You are disappearing to be resurrected. Think of the structure of every great religion. The Messiah leaves. He dies, or he ascends, or he goes into the desert. The followers are left in despair. They mourn. They realize how much they needed him. And then, at the height of their desperation, he returns. His return is not just an arrival. It is an event. It is a miracle. If he had stayed, he would have just been a man. By leaving and returning, he becomes a god. You must apply this messianic structure to your own reputation. When you withdraw, you are letting the old you, the one they took for granted, die in their minds. When you return, you are introducing the new you, the one who is scarce, valuable, and autonomous. Consider the masterstroke of Charles de Gaulle. In the 1940s, he was the hero of France. But after the war, the politicians began to bicker. They tried to drag him down into the mud of bureaucracy. They treated him like a common servant. De Gaulle did not argue. He did not fight for votes. He simply resigned. He left Paris. He retired to his country home in Colombey-les-Deux-Églises. He sat in silence. He wrote his memoirs. He refused to comment on politics. For 10 years, he let France suffer without him. The government collapsed. Economies struggled. The people grew anxious. They realized that the politicians were children, and they had chased away the only adult in the room. The silence from Colombey became deafening. The people began to beg for his return. When the crisis finally hit a breaking point in 1958, the Parliament didn't just ask him to come back, they begged him. And when he returned, he did not return as a politician begging for a coalition. He returned as a savior. He demanded full emergency powers, a new constitution, and total authority. And they gave it to him. His absence accomplished what his presence never could. When you return from your strategic retreat, you must not sneak back in. You must not look sheepish. And above all, you must never apologize. The amateur returns and says, "So sorry I was gone. I was so busy. Please forgive me." This destroys everything. It implies guilt. It implies that you owe them your time. The master returns and acts as if his absence was the most natural thing in the world. He does not explain. He does not make excuses. He simply resumes his position, but with a new energy. He uses the relief of the other party to set new terms. When they see you again, they are flooded with dopamine. They are relieved that you didn't leave forever. In that moment of relief, they are pliable. They are willing to agree to things they would have rejected before. I'm back, but things need to change. I can take this project, but I need full control. I can stay in this relationship, but I need more space. Use the return to reset the contract. However, you must be aware of the point of no return. This is the danger zone. If you stay away too long, the law reverses. Scarcity creates value, but total unavailability creates indifference. If you starve a fire for too long, it doesn't burn hotter, it goes out. If you leave a position open for too long, they will find a replacement. Nature abhors a vacuum, and eventually someone else will step in to fill your spot. You must return before they replace you, but after they have felt the pain of your loss. It is a rhythm. It is a heartbeat. Expansion and contraction. Presence and absence. If the heart only contracts, it stops. If it only expands, it bursts. You must keep the blood flowing by constantly shifting between being the rock they rely on and the ghost they fear losing. When you master this rhythm, you become addictive. Gambling works because you don't win every time. If a slot machine paid out every single time you pulled the lever, you would get bored in 5 minutes. It is the intermittent reward that keeps you pulling the handle for hours. Be the slot machine that only pays out sometimes. Be the person whose attention is a prize, not a guarantee. Make your presence a reward for their good behavior, and your absence a punishment for their disrespect. This is not cruelty. This is training. You are teaching the world how to treat you, and the world only respects what it cannot fully own. We arrive at the final paradox. To possess the world, you must first let go of your need for it. The techniques of absence, the strategic retreat, the vague excuse, the calculated silence, are merely tricks if you do not possess the core psychological foundation required to sustain them. That foundation is self-sufficiency. You cannot fake absence if you are internally desperate for connection. If you withdraw from a room but sit at home obsessively checking your phone, you are not absent. You are waiting. And people can smell waiting. They can smell the desperation on you, even from a distance. It travels through the ether. True power comes when you are genuinely content in your own company. The transparent man is a parasite. He feeds on the attention of others to verify his own existence. If no one is looking at him, he feels like he is dying. The master is a sun. He generates his own gravity. He generates his own heat. He does not need the planets to orbit him. They orbit him because he is massive. Even if the planets vanished, the sun would continue to burn. This is the state you must achieve. You must reach a point where your solitude is not a punishment, but a luxury. When you enjoy your own silence, you become dangerous. Why? Because you become unleverageable. In any negotiation, in any relationship, the person who is most willing to walk away holds all the power. If you need the deal to pay your rent, you will lose. If you need the girl to feel like a man, she will leave. If you need the job to validate your ego, they will own you. But if you are willing to walk away, If you are willing to go back to your fortress and sit in silence and be perfectly happy, then you are invincible. They cannot threaten you with isolation because you have already befriended the dark. This is the ultimate secret of Law 16. It is not really about manipulating others. It is about mastering yourself. It is about curing your addiction to external validation. When you stop needing their applause, they will chase you to give it to you. When you stop begging for their love, they will fear losing yours. It is a cruel irony of the universe. We only get what we stop needing. So, look at your life. Where are you overextended? Where are you forcing your presence? Where are you being the nice guy who is terrified of rocking the boat? Stop. Pull back. Sever the cord. Do not announce it. Do not make a dramatic exit speech. Just step back into the shadows. Focus on your mission. Focus on your body. Focus on your bank account. Build a life so rich and so interesting that you actually forget to check your phone. Build a garden so beautiful that you don't care if anyone comes to sit in it. And watch what happens. Watch how the texts start to come in. Watch how the respect returns in their eyes. Watch how they start to treat you like a prize to be won rather than a utility to be used. They will come looking for you. They will ask where you have been. And when they do, you will smile. Look at them with the calm detachment of a man who is the master of his own fate and say, I was just busy. You are no longer the air they breathe without thinking. You are the gold they dig for. You are the eclipse they watch with awe. You have learned the lesson of the stars. The brighter you want to shine, the more distance you must place between yourself and the world. Step back. Let the silence do the work. The throne is empty. Go and take it.